The GoXLR is dead. Long live the new king, the Avermedia live streamer Nexus. My name is Chris, this is Coalition Gaming, and today I'll be your stream technician. Real quick, if you're new around here and are into PC hardware, tech, gaming, stream tips, and stream tutorials, then you're in the right place. Click that subscribe button and that bell so you don't miss a single upload. Also, I stream to Twitch every Friday at 8 p.m. Pacific at twitch.tv/Coalition Gaming Crew. So feel free to stop by, drop a follow, and talk streaming and tech. Also, special thanks to Avermedia for sending these products over. Rest assured, all opinions are my own. Anyways, let's get to the video. For the longest time, the go-to device for streaming gadgets that everyone wanted and talked about was the GoXLR. Avermedia is about to change all of that. They sent over this thing called the Live Streamer Nexus, and man was I excited to check this thing out when I saw what it could do. They also sent over a brand new high-quality dynamic microphone called the Live Streamer Mic 330 that I think will impress, but we'll get to that shortly. Let's focus on the Nexus right now. A while back, I did a video on a budget GoXLR alternative. While that title might have been a bit clickbaity, it was a $75 device that gave you the best function of a GoXLR, individual source volume control. In this case, via the Windows Advanced Sound Mixer. Now, what if we combine that, a Stream Deck, and a USB XLR interface? Toss some RGB in, button knobs instead of faders, a 5-inch touchscreen, some physical buttons, and most importantly, submixing, which gives the ability to hear things separately in your headset versus what your stream hears, and you get the Avermedia Live Streamer Nexus. Alright, so real quick, let's go over some technical specs of this device so you guys have an idea of what it's capable of. The first thing you'll notice is the 5-inch touchscreen on this thing. Currently, this gives you 5 pages total that you can scroll left or right to get to with 20 buttons on each page. As far as what these buttons can do, we'll be getting to that. Continuing with the hardware, there are also 6 volume knobs that are also buttons that can be pressed to mute whatever they are controlling. Then there are 4 physical buttons on the right side of the unit that can be programmed the same way as the buttons on the touchscreen. The device itself sits on a removable magnetic stand, and if you take it off, it sits at a lower angle. For the I/O, we've got a headphone jack, a line out, an XLR combo jack that supports 48 volt phantom power for condenser mics, line in, optical in, much to my surprise, the USB port that connects to the computer, the DC power jack since this uses a power brick, and a physical on-off switch. This is a fantastic selection for I/O since you have accommodations for monitoring, condenser or dynamic microphones that are either XLR or quarter-inch, next-gen console hookups like for a PS4, PS5 or Xbox, as well as for something like a Nintendo Switch. Dual PC streamer? Got you covered as well, since you can use this for a dual PC setup with and without in-game chat, depending on how you connect it, since we have line in and line out. Super useful. Today, we're going to be checking out this device in a single PC stream configuration, transplanted into my primary setup, also using the Nexus as my only sound card since I'm now running my headphones off its headphone jack. I did this to simplify configuring it. Along for the ride is going to be this microphone, the Avermedia Live Streamer Mic 330. This is a dynamic cardioid microphone, and since it's a dynamic mic, that means it won't need phantom power and puts it in the same category as the Rode PodMic and Shure SM7B. It also means that the microphone, by design, will naturally be better at rejecting things like background noise, keyboard noise, and that sort of stuff. It's very promising to say the least. So I'm considering also doing a dedicated video specifically for this mic to compare it to some other stuff, so let me know down in the comments below if you want to see that. Anyways, let's get to the best part of this video, the demonstration. So here we are down at the desktop with the Nexus software already launched, and this is basically the first thing you're going to see. I already did a few customizations though. When you first launch it, these 4 buttons right here will be just some preset shortcuts that Avermedia already put on there, and it'll be a blank background. Yeah, you can actually change the wallpaper on the screen by changing it here. And now you see me moving around, you see all the different buttons here. This is so cool because this reminds me of, like what a Stream Deck would do, or Touch Portal. And on the left side, you have the things that you can put on there, the buttons. You can put a monitoring button on there, and you just drag and drop them right on there. You can change the title of the button and what it says, whether it's pressed or not pressed as well. You can even change which mix that you're switching to. I have creator or audience. So basically this is going to be tying into the submixing that I'll get into later. You even have a soundboard player, which is really nice. So you can play sound effects by configuring it with the soundboard player. And I'll show you more on that in a second. Right now, we're just checking out the different things here that are left. These are Nexus functions. The mixer dashboard is kind of cool as well, because it sort of shows you, gives you visual representation of what everything is set up at when you're in creator and when you're an audience. You just click over to it on the touchscreen. And yeah, that's pretty good. So right now it's an audience, and it shows you what audience is at, and then you put it to creator, and it shows you what all the volume settings are under creator. Moving down the line, you have some system shortcuts. You have websites, so you can just open a specific website. I believe you might be able to utilize that for if this then that webhook execution. If you put the URL to the webhook in that one, and then you can use this with if this then that compatible things. Not 100% sure on that though, but just something I wanted to mention. You can have it open apps or files. You even have a hotkey press on there. The hotkey press is cool because you can just be like, there's your, oops, I'm just gonna be like GG, right? And then when you press it, it will just type GG in whatever. Multimedia functions, texts, so it pastes text, I guess, as well. Yep, that's exactly what it'll do. And then if you use Avermedia's RECentral software for streaming and recording, you have scene, screenshot, stream, and record functions all right there as well. And then here's the best part about it, my favorite part, the OBS Studio integration. And you can have it, you know, set scenes. So you click a button and you set which one you're going to go to, and it will click over to that scene by pushing the button, and you can name it as well. And you can change the images to them as well by clicking this little pencil looking icon down there and finding the images and clicking them. Then you also have a mute function, so you can mute specific audio sources. Using that function, you have the record button, would be just a button to hit record and stop recording, a button for streaming and stop streaming, and a button to turn individual sources off and on right there. This is like the bread and butter of what you would want to use a Stream Deck for, with you know, a touchscreen on this device, and it's all built in. So it's pretty impressive. Scrolling down, you also have YouTube functions. If you tie your YouTube account to this, it'll tell you if you're streaming on YouTube, how many viewers you have watching, how many subscribers you have, even a YouTube chat box. Now, the YouTube chat box isn't just one square. It takes up a bunch of squares, as you can see that. And that's how it will look. It says waiting for stream. I'm not live right now, so there you go. There's also a similar integration for Twitch. You have a viewer count button, a followers button, and a chat box. The chat box, again, so cool because you can just have a chat. You know, I'll type it in my chat box over here, and you see that it pops up there. Now, it takes a second, but there it is. Now, it's not totally compatible yet with emotes, so I'm gonna drop some emotes in there, and it doesn't quite show that sort of stuff. See, I did my Cole It Love main emote for the Twitch channel, but it shows blank. But as far as text goes, if you're moving things around in your computer as you're setting up for your stream, and you can't have your chat window up because it's being covered by other stuff, it's nice to have this as a backup, because then you can just look down at it to see what chat is up to, possibly even respond to it while you're still getting everything else ready. And then when you're ready, you have your main chat up, and there you go. It's nice to have it as like a backup chat to look at. Now, if you like using Spotify, there is direct Spotify integration right here. And you can see here on the left, play, pause, previous track, next track, volume up, volume down, shuffle, repeat. And it can even tell you what's playing now if you have that linked up there. I already set up a panel with, you know, like how you would probably set up with Spotify, big middle screen showing you what's playing and how the track setup would be, even volume up and volume down control, all right there. Very useful. And the cool thing as far as the screens go is you just swipe left and right to it like you would on a cell phone. That's just me swiping right there. There's also integration for Streamlabs OBS, as you can see right here. I don't really use Streamlabs OBS, but at least for the users that do, you're good to go with this. One thing that's important to keep in mind, though, if you want to use this with the OBS integration, is you're going to need the OBS WebSocket plugin for OBS Studio. This will allow that stuff to work. So I'll leave a link down in the description below. This is the page for it, and here are the install instructions and everything. But for the most part, you have a Windows installer or a Mac OS package, whatever the case is. It's right here. Download it, install it, and then you'll be able to use those functions of the Live Streamer Nexus. Now, the 4 physical buttons on the right, you can see them right here. I set the top left one to monitor, the top right one to mute all. By pressing that one button, everything will be muted. My system, my mic, music, all that, it'll all be muted. And also a physical button to switch between my dual tracks. So right now, creator is what I hear. I'm the creator, so that's what I hear in my headset. And if I push that button, it'll switch to audience, and that's what you guys are hearing right now. And I just pushed it right now, and it also kind of works as monitoring, because now I can hear what you guys hear by pushing that button. And when I want to go back to only hearing it the way I want to hear it, I push that button again, and there we are. So I also set one of those physical buttons to be my stream ending screen. So I'm going to go ahead and push that now, and you'll see it switch over to see that this does work very similarly to Touch Portal in a Stream Deck. That button right there, it goes to my stream going offline screen. Well, let's get back to the other screen by pushing my demo button on this page of stuff that I already set up. There we go. And I'm back. I mean, how great is that, right? As you can see, I have this screen full-fledged for streaming set up. I have the backup chat on the screen. If I want to switch to my main talking screen, I can push that button. And here we are. And if I just want to switch to my gaming scene, I can push that button. And this is where normally a game would be playing. And if I want to switch back, I can just go back to here. It's really cool that that's all there on the touchscreen. It's really nice that you can up your stream production, because, you know, if something random does happen, you can also do something like this. Or even like this. Oh man, doing fun stuff on stream is always a good time. It's always a good time. But we're not done yet. As far as your the knob setups go, here I'm going to click the microphone. This is where we have such good stuff with the microphone. We click it, you have equalizer control. You can add reverb, and I mean, let me show you a little bit more on the equalizer. We're going to click it there, and you have full equalizer control, the minute details on whatever microphone you have plugged in through the XLR port. Today, we're using Avermedia's Livestreamer Mic 330 dynamic cardioid microphone. And so far, I think it sounds pretty good. What do you guys think? So it's very nice that the software equalizer is actually built into the hardware and controllable via software. It's just mind-blowing. You can also add echo, reverb. You can have a noise gate. The thing with these though is that this is maybe a little bit of feedback for the Avermedia team, especially for the echo and the reverb. If that can be assigned to one of the physical buttons so that we could activate that on the fly, I think that would be cool. I was hoping that there was a more of a voice mod or some sort of a voice manipulation control on here, but there isn't a whole lot. Echo and reverb would actually go a pretty far way to do it, but you'd have to go in here to turn it off and on instead of having it accessed by a button. So there you go. We have a compressor here, which is actually something I really like. I turn on the compressor, and that's going to help keep me from peaking in case I get really loud all of a sudden. Which, you know, that happens. You have some good matches, you get really excited, you get really loud all of a sudden, and it doesn't go into the red. And I was just watching it right now. It barely touched the red, didn't peak. We're good. On the left side in this section, you'll see where you can adjust the volume for the mic as well as the gain for the microphone. And you tell it which type of microphone you have, so it adjusts accordingly. This is an XLR dynamic microphone, so that's what I have checked. If you have a condenser microphone plugged in, then clicking the XLR condenser button will turn on phantom power for the microphone, so it works. And then you also have a button for a 6.3 millimeter, which I guess is the 1/4 inch jack one if you went with that kind of microphone. And as you can see here, moving the knob moves the knob there. It moves the light of the knob as well. So I'm adjusting the volume of the microphone dynamically right there in that knob, or I can just flat out mute it right there by pushing down on it. And that goes for any of the other knobs. All these knobs, pushing down on it will mute whatever source is going there. Now, a little bit more on the knobs. The line-in knob, it controls the volume of the line-in port that's on the device, and the console knob also controls volume of the connection. I believe that would be for the optical audio. System is a virtual track as well as game and chat, and I'll get more into that in just a second. Right now, I want to talk about what makes this so awesome for streamers and anybody who creates content via OBS or whatever. Basically, this is the submixing capability of this device. It's called dual mix. Now, dual mix won't be enabled by default. You're going to have to come into this section. You click the mic right there, and then you click the 3 lines up here where it says audio mixer, and then you click dual mix right there. By default, it'll be on single mix. You pop it over to dual mix right there, and then you'll get this screen right here where now you see creator mix and you see audience mix. And right here, even without having to switch to the audience mix, you can grab any of these sliders and adjust them dynamically. So as you can see down here, I have chat turned down. That's my Discord. So I have chat turned down pretty low because people in my Discord can be pretty loud when I'm playing games with them. And I want to make sure that you guys can always hear me just fine. And I have games that, this part I'll get into shortly again, that I have to dynamically assign to the game input. And that way I can control game volume separately from Discord and separately from the whole system, and separately for you guys versus separately for me. It's really easy to understand once you actually look at it. Creator mix, what you hear, and there's all your settings. Audience mix, what you guys hear, or everyone else out there hears, and here's all your settings for it. It's just that simple. Now, if we go on over here to the top right and click the settings wheel, you'll see we have this menu right here. This menu and all this stuff right here is different stuff to access controls of the hardware and lighting and all such. Membership is where you sign into your Twitch and your YouTube and have your Avermedia account. I'm going to click hardware right here, and here you can see you can sleep the touchscreen after 2 hours. You can control the brightness of the touchscreen, auto hide the grid. You can have background pictures. You can even have multiple background pictures. And as you can see, I set my black diamond plate CG logo as a background there. You can have the function keys change color based off of whether it's a solid color, the icon color, whatever you're putting on those physical buttons, or just off. Volume indicators, you can have different colors as well. Mine currently are on blue, but I can make them red if I wanted to by clicking that. Now they're red. I can make them green if I wanted to, clicking that. Now they're green. So this kind of control, I think, is pretty cool. I don't know if I'm gonna leave it on. Yeah, that teal look is pretty cool. Scrolling down here, you can also control the scrolling RGB that goes around the device itself. You can you have different functions for it: solid, pulsing, blinking, whatever. Frequency, I guess the speed at which it goes. Interactive effect, if you're streaming, it can go to a certain light. If you're recording, you can go to a different light. That's kind of useful if you think about it, because then you can just at a glance get a look down at it and you can be like, oh, I'm live, or oh, I'm recording, or or I'm not doing any of that. And here, you can set priority for the lighting mode when you start streaming and recording simultaneously. Which light will it show you? You pick there. Now, if you go over to the output tab, you have adjustable sample rate, 24-bit, 48,000 hertz, or 24-bit, 96,000 hertz. That's pretty cool. Then you can also specify what goes out of the line out. You can have the creator mix, what you hear, the audience mix, what is specified for you guys to hear separately from what I hear, or just the chat mic, which is just the microphone right here, through the line out once you have that configured. The chat mic you can also have going out to everybody with effects and without effects. What that means is that you can have that going out with the equalizer already on it, echo, compressor, noise gate, or anybody you talk to, like the chat mic could be raw. I'm going to go ahead and go with effects. And so here's a quick demonstration of what I mean with the way that you can swap back and forth with the submixing, in this case the creator mix and the audience mix, the dual mix of what it is. I'm going to go ahead and play some music. To me, it's kind of loud, so I could turn that down with my system button. Now, to me, I can adjust it. It can be loud to me or low to me, but you guys don't hear it change. So I'm gonna make it loud for me, then go over to creator mix right there. Now it's on audience mix, and this is what you guys are hearing, and now I can hear what you guys are hearing in my headset, and I can turn that down. And now I know it's quiet for you guys. And I can switch back to me, and I can, if I wanted to rock out to it, I could just be like, oh yeah, loud for me, nice and quiet for you guys. So good. Now, there is some additional configuration required in Windows and in OBS to get this up and running. So let me show you guys a little bit of what I mean. Once you have this plugged in, you go down to the speaker in the bottom right, and then you click Sounds. When you click Sounds, you get this menu like this. Go ahead and set chat mic as the default, then flop on over here to playback. And in the playback, you have multiple things here, but well, the manual told you to go to chat as far as making that your default communication device. The thing is, I want to chat to just control Discord. I'll show you how I ended up doing that right now, but I ended up using the system virtual output, and now basically system is everything, Discord is separate, and games is separate. So I'll show you what steps you need to do now to accomplish that. So we're going to go ahead and hit mixer, and you'll see sound mixer options in the Windows search, and these are what I have currently running. Let me open up Discord real quick so it populates in here. Discord being on the list here, I just went ahead and selected that and hit chat. And with that assigned, the chat knob on the device, this knob right here, will control only Discord and only the volume of the people that are there, which is fantastic for me. And so if I wanted to switch over to audience mix, which is what you guys hear, I would just hit my button to do that and then set it down. Now, I don't know if you guys can see here on the camera on the device, you can see that when I switch to that, audience mix is Discord really low, but I switch back to creator mix, which is what I'm hearing, and it's much higher. Super useful, especially if you have a lot of loud friends in your Discord. Now, if you have a game open, it'll pop up on this list too. Let's just pretend that OBS is a game, like Apex Legends, for example, and you wanted to control just the volume of that without having to mess with the volume of anything else on the system with one of these knobs. Well, game is the knob that I'm going to want to use for that. So I just go over to OBS, click the top one here for output, and then I just scroll down over to game. And now with that, I can control the volume of whatever game or whatever I have assigned to that with the game knob, and it will be controlled independently of everything else. That is so nice. Then once you have that sort of configured, you want to bring up the settings of OBS, and here is the OBS settings. You want to go to audio. We're going to be disabling desktop audio. You sort of have to rethink how audio goes through into OBS with this device, because I would always just use desktop audio to play music, right? And probably most people do it that way. No, in this one, you disable desktop audio. You set your mic down here to audience mix, Live Streamer Nexus. Audience mix, that's the important one right there. Audience mix. That is specifically what you guys hear on the dual track setup, separately from what I hear. And that's the most important one to have there. And once you have that set up, you have audience mix selected there, desktop audio deselected or disabled, then you're ready to go in OBS. Now just a little bit more on the microphone. Again, this is the Live Streamer Mic 330. And now I'm going to speak down directly at it instead of sort of it being off to the side like it was. And speaking down directly at it with a little bit of treble and bass. I'm sure this is a pretty good sounding microphone. My experience with it so far has been, it is top notch. This microphone, it sounds really good. It's an all metal build. Supposedly has a built-in pop filter. So I don't know if you guys can tell. Pop, pop, pizza, pizza, you know, please deliver pizza pronto. And yeah, supposedly that's in there. It's pretty heavy duty feeling microphone, pretty heavy, all metal, it seems like, and it's got a really cool styling on it. It also comes with an interchangeable ring. I don't know if you can tell, there's a little bit of red there. There's a red ring right there. And it also comes with a silver ring like this. But I had a lot of trouble getting the red ring off to put this guy on, so I'm not sure what's going on there, but whatever, it's a ring.
So what do you guys think? Is this a GoXLR killer? In my opinion,
without a doubt. It does everything the GoXLR does for the most part and adds to its functionality with features such as submixing, a touchscreen, and Stream Deck style OBS integration. This thing is a one-stop shop that can replace multiple devices, and it's crazy to me that we finally have something like this on the market. Then we have the Livestreamer Mic 330. I actually was not expecting this in the box that Avermedia sent over, so I had a hard time thinking about how I could integrate it into this video, but I think I pulled it off. That entire demonstration was done using the 330 with a few adjustments to bass and treble. In my opinion, it sounds great. Good dynamic microphones that have a high quality sound and don't look like run-of-the-mill handheld mics, while not costing a fortune, are actually pretty hard to come by. The Rode Pod mic is the only competitor for this mic that comes to mind. Now, there are cons. No device is perfect. Only 3 of the knobs can be used as virtual tracks that you can assign programs to in the Windows Advanced Volume Mixer. After using my 8-fader Korg Nano Control Mini to control my Windows volume sources for so long, I've gotten a bit spoiled. 3 is certainly enough though, as I have Discord assigned to the chat knob and everything else is controllable via the system knob in my config. The game knob is something I may have to change each individual game to output to, and once I load them and I'm playing them, and that way I'll be able to control them with that knob. It would be nice if this knob could control whatever program was in focus, aka currently clicked into, so you wouldn't need to manually assign games and other programs to that knob. It would also be nice to have an ability to reassign the use of the line in and console knobs to be used as virtual tracks, so we could have 5 total virtual tracks we could assign things to instead of just 3. Other issues I ran into is that the screen would stay on and just show the Avermedia logo whenever I put my PC to sleep when I wasn't using it. I feel like this could cause screen burn-in and prematurely wear the screen out. It should just be able to turn off whenever the PC is put to sleep and powered off. I also encountered an issue where I woke my PC up from sleep and the microphone knob kept showing me no volume. I would move it, it would show that it was fine, but nobody could hear me in Discord. A quick reboot fixed this though. All in all, nothing game breaking. With all that being said, I'm sure you're wondering how much these products cost. The Livestreamer Mic 330 has an MSRP of $99.99. Huh? Pretty good, right? And the Livestreamer Nexus has an MSRP of, drumroll, $349.99. That's right, you can get the Nexus and the microphone for less than the cost of the full-size GoXLR. Think about that for a second. This could replace a handful of devices for streamers, can be paired with an affordable high-quality microphone, and cost less than the most desired device in this space. Avermedia may have just made the GoXLR irrelevant. So those are my thoughts now. What do you guys think? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. Is this a GoXLR killer? Is this something that you want? How do you feel about its price? Personally, for me, the price is fair. But I want to hear your opinions. How did you feel about the microphone quality? Definitely going to be nice to have an additional contender for an affordable dynamic streamer microphone, don't you think? Also wanted to mention that Avermedia does have a bit of a roadmap for future updates to the Nexus, including Cam Engine and Voice Engine integration. This is some of their own software. Twitch command support, XSplit integration, SDK framework, audio samples, Twitch Studio integration, daily productivity improvements, an eventual user interface and experience revamp, multi-size widgets, profile import, export, and sharing, and cloud sync and backup of those profiles. Real quick about the profiles though, I did want to mention that this device does have different profiles you could switch to. So you can have a configuration for your recording profile, a configuration for streaming profile, and a different configuration for like maybe a different streaming profile. And you can assign a hotkey onto the device and any of the buttons to switch to go to that specific profile if you push the button. That's pretty useful, right? All right, well, if you like this video, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button and that bell so you don't miss a single upload. Also, I stream to Twitch every Friday at 8 p.m. Pacific at twitch.tv/Coalition Gaming Crew. So stop on by, drop a follow, and let's talk tech and streaming. I hope you found this video informative, educational, helpful, or otherwise useful. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Also, got plenty of content right over here. Tons of stuff. You want to learn more about that budget GoXLR alternative thing I mentioned? That's linked right there. Got a whole playlist of streamer tech tips and stuff too. So check them out, yeah? You're still here. You're not going to click.